Now it's time for me to invite Mr. B.L. Meena to throw more light on such initiatives and address us. A round of applause for Mr. Meena, please.
What is the timeline? 15 minutes. Okay. I am happy to share some of the experiences which we have had in Karnataka. First of all, it is not that what we have done is something new which nobody has done. There is nothing like this. Most universities and institutions on their own have done a lot of things, and that's what we have learned. Some of our private universities here, we have seen their ICT things. Wonderful softwares they have themselves have prepared, and it has been evolved over a period of time, starting from student's entry till he passes out. They are doing within the campus of the university. What we have tried to do is to link all these institutions. In Karnataka we have 50 universities, private universities, state universities, about 3,000 colleges are there, more than 300 polytechnics and engineering colleges, more than 200 engineering colleges are there. So state as a whole, Karnataka as a state as a whole, our vision is to network all these institutions. The vision of the state government is that students studying anywhere in any institution should have access to the best of the things happening in other institutions. That is the basic foundation of this Gyan Sangama initiative which we have taken. The student, whether he studies in X college or Y college, public college or a private college, he is a student, he is a future citizen. Every college is not equal. There are some colleges which are very sought after because of their quality education. There are some colleges where people do not go there, they don't take admission, the seats go begging. That happens even in professional colleges. So in such situation, there are some institutions which are sought after. There are some institutions where not enough number of students are there. Why this is so? Purely because the goodwill of those good institutions is good. The other institutions do not have either adequate infrastructure, or the teacher quality may not be good, or some other problems may be there in those. The other trend which we have seen is that best institutions are located around capital cities, in urban areas, and not so good institutions are there in rural areas. Similarly, the students coming to these best institutions are from all over the places. But then students coming in rural colleges or the other colleges, and government colleges especially, are from very poorer segments of the society. Because they come from very poor background or a background where there is no education earlier, and if they get not so good quality education, the backwardness is further accentuated in that sense. So it's a challenge for any government. The government invests money, but then that investment benefit is not reached to the people. So then we deliberated on this. I went around all these universities all over the state and discussed with the staff, vice chancellors and others, and deliberate as to what is to be done. So when I went everywhere, discussed, and finally we also took the NAAC parameters, on what parameters they assess those institutions. So considering those NAAC parameters also, we finally boiled down to it that the use of technology is absolutely essential. We found our universities were standalone, having connectivity, but then they were not connected with other universities, they were not connected with the central secretariat, they were not connected with departments. Similar was the situation of the colleges. The colleges were not connected to the university. The university had connectivity, college had a connectivity with BSNL and even others also. But then they were also not connected. So then this was a major challenge for us. We started here in Karnataka under this Gyan Sangama initiative was to start weekly meetings. Since the time I joined here, I used to do in other departments. So here also we introduced. Every week we used to call the registrars or the representatives or the person who is handling IT from universities, and we used to hold meetings in Bangalore. Though it was very cumbersome for them to come here all the way and then explain. Next week, what will be the progress? So with 1 week you hold a video conferencing or a meeting, next week also again call them, the same progress will be. There won't be any progress. Overnight any challenges or any changes. This was the situation with which we started. We started almost from a ground zero. Some universities had taken, VTU had taken some initiatives, others had taken some initiatives. But then again I said it was limited to that. So gradually we sensitized the registrars, the vice chancellors about the need of these changes. And I was doing on my own on all these initiative discussions and all that. I had not even discussed with our Honorable Minister, not had explained to him as to what we were planning. So they were also thinking, as Additional Chief Secretary, he is doing some meeting, let him do whatever he wants to do. So like this we used to discuss. I used to discuss with their IT people, with registrars and all that, and used to say this is what we want to visualize. So they were absolutely not able to comprehend what was in mind. They were not able to even relate like online admission. It was unheard of. Then relate the online attendance of the student using the mobile gadget. Take the attendance of the students, the class teacher taking attendance using the smartphone. Then the feedback about the teacher after end of the class, how the class was, whether people received it or his method of communication of the professor. About that there was no feedback. There was there was a system of getting feedback, but this used to be done at the end of the semester, or end of the year, or once in a month, or different colleges had different methods, and that was also not analyzed. So we said this is not done. So we started with the NIC support. We outsourced a lot of people there to prepare what we were talking, convert it into programs and modules. So finally when we discussed and evolved, about 100 items of things we visualize that those are the areas where we need to do. Go next. Then go to the list state. Go to the list. Yeah. Go next. So this is what it covers. We visualize that ICT implementation, if we have to do implementation, it has to be across the board. It has to be across the state. Taking initiatives in one institution is not going to help us. So our vision was to connect all the universities, all the colleges, and start these initiatives in all these things, say at the same time. There was no point in leaving one university and then starting some university. That also was there. So the vision again boiled down to starting IC initiative in administration side, what can be done. Then starting from admission till the student passes out, whatever phases he passes out, whatever the activities happen in the colleges and universities, all those have to be handled with the help of ICT. That was the vision. So starting from admission, we started online, class curriculum, the class metrics. Today sitting here, I can know at this point of time in which college, who is taking which class. Now this information was almost impossible. No commissioner can know, no secretary can know, no principal can know even which class is happening. But we made all these things in such a way that whoever is the staff there, now what is his period schedule, what subject he teaches, all that thing we digitize and put it in the thing. So today we have reached that situation where in an interactive mode we can find out who has to take which class and where he is taking class. So the class thing is available. Timetable is also available online. The attendance, as I said earlier, taking attendance of the students. Because we have online data, digital data available in our system, automatically it sorts the data according to the class, day wise. Because class matrix is made, which class is happening, where it is also made. Automatically once the teacher comes there and then logs on to the system, depending on the time, the names of the students appear on the screen. So he doesn't have to scroll, he doesn't have to take his attendance register, the manual register. It automatically comes, the names of the students automatically comes. Then the students are by default marked as present. So he doesn't have to tick every person's name when he or she is present. Only those people whose names are called out and they are not present, there he has to click. And he has to click him as absent, mark him absent. Once he marks it absent, after all names are called out, the information, after he submits the information, this goes in the central server and gets locked. He cannot mark anybody present subsequently. So the presence of the students is marked, and since teacher is also doing the same thing, teacher's presence also is marked. Because no teacher can give now just coming and biometric attendance and then going back. That system also doesn't work here. So teacher by default is also marked as present. Students are also marked present. Automatically it goes in the server. Principal doesn't have discretion. Nobody has discretion to put again the attendance. This is the work system we have done. After that is done, after the class is over, how the teacher has spoken about him, the student can give by using their own mobile systems, and they can give a feedback. They can give feedback at the same that time also. They can give feedback at the end of the day also. They can give feedback any time also. That feedback also comes in the system, and that feedback gets lodged against the teacher's profile. So consistently over a period of time, 1 month, 2 months, quarter, we can assess the performance of the teacher, feedback about the teacher, whether they are liking their class, whether they are not liking their class. If they are not liking their class, then the principal can make use of that information. He can do the counseling, he can advise them that this is consistent feedback we are getting. And students have choice not to give their names also. It's not necessary that they need to reveal their names. That can be kept confidential. So that provision has been made. So this way we have tried to bring some sort of discipline in this academic part. Coming to the resource part, this student support system, because of this connectivity, they are able to access information from any library. All libraries are connected because the universities are interconnected. The library resource of that university is also made available to the other students by default. The student of Bangalore University can access library of Gulbarga University, which was not possible. Some library may have good resource there. It was not available. It was not available to the student outside that university. Today, that resource is available everywhere. Then we also thought of this, that it's not necessary that important that only state universities get connected. We also talked to the private universities. We requested them to share their resources. The best universities where people go and take admission, we contacted them, we requested their vice chancellors to share that resource. We said that we want to share this resource to all the students of the state. Fortunately, they were very large-hearted, all of them. I must compliment them. All the university vice chancellors and people whom we contacted, they all responded positively. They gave their resource, whatever was there. All videos recorded in their classes, whatever video resource they generated as a digital content, that they shared. And today we more than, I think, 8 terabyte of the information in terms of videos is available on the same server. This is available to all students of the state. This was unthinkable before we started this ICT thing. Today, our students we have codified them according to the subject, according to the level of things we have done it. All the students of our state have access to whatever we have. And now, because we are interconnected, we are modernizing our classes, we are making our classes smart with all digital, with connectivity, with the video facilities, with the projector and everything. The class can also be seen. The teacher can show the content, whatever is available there. He can make his own content. He can record his own class and show it to the students. So this video content which is available to us is available. Plus, in addition, we have downloaded whatever resource is available from other contents, like IITs have made, some others would have made the content. What is there on the web also? That has also been downloaded and made it available to the students. So simultaneously, we have also identified our universities, which university, which department is very strong in terms of academics. We have given them responsibility of developing content, e-content. So they are in the process of developing e-content on all these subjects assigned to them. So we have about 17 universities. Each university has its own strengths. So according to the strength of that university, the content they are developing, their board of studies are developing that content, and that content will be made available to all other universities. So all universities need not do the same exercise. Only the subject which is assigned to that university, that they are doing it, and they are taking very active interest in this. Next academic session, our classes we have also fixed an agency which is executing the hardware part. They are modernizing these classes. RUSA funding, state funds, we have made use of this. So this coming financial year, we propose that we plan that all our classrooms in PG, in undergraduation, in government colleges will have the digital connectivity, will have the smart classes, they will have projectors, they will have facilities to record their lectures as is happening. And then we also plan to set up the expert groups who will critically examine how he or she is giving lecture and advise them. Without his knowledge, because we will be putting cameras, they will be recording classes. That class will be seen by experts, and the experts will be giving critical comments about that. It's not the principal giving feedback. So that mechanism we want to put up. We also plan to have people to mentor these universities and colleges also. We also want to take up the vocational aspect, vocational training to all our students across the board, starting with English, soft skills, and then other skills. We are starting RUSA funded colleges, but this coming academic year we plan to do it in all the institutions, both PG and UG. This also is again the ICT is going to help us monitor that. We don't have to monitor, make tabulate things, who is doing where and all that. They're all attendance, all these extra classes also will be recorded there. So starting with the classes, academics, and then the supplementary learning, then the vocationalization, all that is part of the ICT what we have planned. One more important, which is a very critical component of our system is the assessment part. Internal assessment as well as main examination assessment. Internal assessment also we are planning to make it more objective. This subjectivity we are trying to remove it. What we have done is 10 years question banks we have put it in the system. Now students can take the test online. They can take using their mobile apps. They can access that subject, download 100 questions or 50 questions, then answer those questions in a limited period. After they answer, the system itself will collect. Of course, these are the objective type questions what we have started. We plan to do it with the descriptive thing also. So students' assessment will be automatically done by the system. Then he can again take the remaining questions which are where he has not given the correct answer. they can again see the refer the answer, again take the test. So this type of multiple tests they can do, self-learning they can do with the help of this technology. That's what we have done it. On examination front, we have brought about a lot of reforms. We plan to set up one place where all the answer scripts after the end of the examination will be collected and brought to that center. The answer booklets will be scanned, and the digital part will be given to the valuer. The valuer, using his machine, can give the valuation and submit that valuation. Once the valuation is submitted there in the system, he also cannot change his assessment subsequently. This goes in the system, and once all the evaluations are done, the mark sheet is generated, the results are tabulated. This happens by the system itself. Before we introduced this system, every university was engaging different service providers. Different service providers were working for different universities. There was no control. Even the registrar evaluation did not have control over the database, because the agency was taking data in their own server, tabulating it there, and then again giving to the university. So the authenticity of the whole thing was even under question. So now we have come out with a solution, one common software with the customized things for each university, developed in-house by NIC. This software is made available to every university. Now every university has its own data in the system, and that is data is in the central server. It is not with the university in their own campus. The data of the university, of the student data of the examination is in the central server, but access is to the university. Only university can access, nobody can access to that thing, and then that is the only basis of further evaluation, further tabulation and keeping the records. So this way we have tried to eliminate the human interaction which would have been there, which was possible in earlier systems. The tampering was possible in the earlier system. This has been completely eliminated in this. From the coming, we have already done all trials and everything is in one of the universities. It's already done. Last semester also they have done 100%. From the coming academic year, 100% this evaluation we want to do it. And some of the companies which are displaying things here, that also we have done, like giving the question papers just 15 minutes ahead, and remotely they can print at that location. That software also we have developed. We are going to do that, implement that also, so that the leakages of papers and all that can be avoided. This is what we plan to do it. The government has given huge support to us. This initiative we started as last budget year's announcement, but because of our consistent follow-up, monitoring, today this initiative has helped all of us, all the stakeholders. Today, sometime back, I had requested Sri Kasturirangan Saab, our chairman of Karnataka Knowledge Commission. He came and he addressed our video conferencing, talked to the vice chancellors. He was surprised to see that so much has been done in Karnataka. And what was more surprising was that the university vice chancellors and the people in the university have owned up everything. It's not that something which has come from the government of Karnataka or it has come from outside. It has been completely owned by them, and all these ICT initiatives which we have taken up have helped our universities in their accreditation aspects. Many universities, the university UGC teams coming and the NAC team coming and interacting with our universities, they found it very interesting that so many ICT initiatives have been taken by the universities. Though it all started centrally, but the benefits are reaching down to them as if it is their own program, they have developed it. Like that is the ownership which has come. The other thing which has happened also is the connectivity between university and colleges has happened. We are asking the universities to contact every college every week. We do video conferencing in the morning. We have requested them to do video conference after college hours in the evening. After college hours, 2 hours they have kept at times wherein they use Skyping. Using the Skyping, they contact the principals, they talk to them what are the issues, principals raise to them, and so that exchange is happening. Earlier there was no connect between between the college and university. It was only like one time you get accreditation or you get you registered or your every year that your this is renewed, affiliation is renewed, and that's all. But here they are getting connected every week with the principal. So a lot of this ICT initiative which we have taken up is percolating down in the field, and it's becoming a wide thing. So this Government of India has also seen our presentation. They have advised NIC head office also to develop this into a common software and help other states to do that. We last time in Bangalore also many state people came, we gave this presentation. Our vice chancellor are giving presentation about this in different places, when different forum whenever they attended. So this is becoming a major best practice in Karnataka. That's why we thought that let's share this what we have done it, and let's also learn from what others have done. It's not that what we have done is pakka or it's end of the world. There's nothing like this. We have a lot of learning from others also. Others may have done much better than us. So let us know what others have done it. So in that context only we organize this national seminar. I am happy that all of you are here. I would request my vice chancellors and other people who are present here to learn from others more about what they have done it and make use of this national convention. So with this background, I am not going to detail about the presentation, because that you can anyway see it. The soft copy is also available. If you want, we will pass it on to you. But that is the idea. The idea is to provide end-to-end solution using ICT, so that our efficiency increases, efficiency of the system increases, and all stakeholders stand to benefit, starting with the teacher, to the student, to the parents or alumni. All people have to get connected in the system. That is the basic thrust of this Gyan Sangama. So with this I would stop here. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for throwing light on the initiatives, especially the ICT initiatives and higher education scenario taking place in the state.